All right, what's going on, guys? Welcome to a review of Attack on Titan Volume 22. Gonna get right into it, but first, now that I've had a little bit of time to reflect on Volume 21, like I said, I don't know if I'm so good at live reactions because I really am better, I think, when I have time to kind of reflect on my thoughts and then give my ideas about what I just read rather than just reading it right outright, but hopefully you were still entertained by it. Now, okay, so the final chapter of the last volume, just to recap. So everything that we knew about Attack on Titan has taken place on an island that is kind of outside the rest of the world. And what happened was, okay, so I get it that there was this girl Ymir who made a deal with the friggin' devil, or a devil, or the devil, I don't know, but gained the power of the Titans. And there's 9, I think, Titan shifters is what they're called. They have kind of this kind of ultimate power, right? So we know about the coordinate ability one. We know about the one with the race family. We know about the armored Titan, the Colossus Titan, the Beast Titan, Ymir. And so that would mean that there's 3 more that we do. Am I forgetting one? So there's 3 more out there somewhere. We don't know who they are, who they could be, what their abilities are, or anything like that. So the point of it was that at one point, Ymir and her whole group basically kind of subjugated and ruled the world, and saying that there was some kind of prosperity to it too. I don't know if this was just kind of Aaron's father's own interpretation, or if this was actual, like, did it really bring any prosperity, or was it just subjugation? A little bit hazy on that. But after that, after the 9 powers were split, the world kind of separated into 2 factions, and one of them gained control and kind of subjugated the descendants of Ymir, basically saying, you guys are poor, you guys get to live in your little area, and then we live in ours, and Marley is the area that's kind of like in complete control here. And the funny thing is that this has nothing to do with where our characters are or what we know about them. They're just on this other island with whoever gained the most powerful Titan's ability, the one that can erase memories and everything and create the wall. They basically decided to opt out of the battle and were like, nope, we're going to live over here and we're going to do things our way. And that's why they rewrote history the way they wanted to. While they said that there was no other humans that live outside the walls, wouldn't even be open to the idea. They kept technology at a minimum. So they're basically just trying to control their little portion of the world. So again, like I said, it reminded me of Hunter x Hunter, how we knew the world that we knew was actually just a small part of a much grander, bigger world, which is kind of the same thing that's happening here. Now, because of that, so there's a couple things I missed. One of them was Aaron's first son, Zeke, which I guess is the Beast Titan, which that makes more sense now. I believe they did name drop him at one point. I didn't realize that when I was reading the end of the last chapter. So that means that he is on a he kind of got brainwashed by the Marley group and is with them. So I'm assuming that the Beast Titan and Reiner, Bertold, those characters, they were all part of the Marley part of, what's the other one called? God damn it, I should have looked that up before I started this. Anyways, so I believe that they're all part of that group, and that they were infiltrating the island that we knew where our characters are for basically their resources, because they have more advanced technology, they have more control over the world, and apparently there are more resources available on this island, as well as the power of the original, or as one of the original shifters. So they could just infiltrate this island and get all of them. And apparently they send all of their kind of prisoners, I guess, to this island, and that's what all the Titans are that are wandering around and walking around the island. So I didn't realize that reading that last chapter either. So it's kind of like a prison, basically. So instead of throwing them in prison, they basically just turn them into a Titan and have them like wander around this friggin' island, which is just crazy. So that kind of retwists our examination of what was going on with Aaron and the Survey Corps and everything, because they thought that was the world, that whole island that they would explore and people would get killed. They thought they were exploring the world, but they were just really exploring an island, and the world is much, much bigger. And this means that the Titans that they've been facing were really just people that were fighting for their freedom in a way, right? So if the Marley people took the others, the criminals, and turned them into Titans and then threw them on this island, the Titans are running around mindless eating people, sure, but they're not doing anything wrong. They're just kind of going off natural instinct, right? The natural instinct to feed, and also they're feeding so that they can hopefully eat somebody that has one of the shifter powers and then become more intelligent, more powerful. So this whole time, all of their enemies were just kind of subjugated people, you know, from this constant war, this constant battle that goes on within humanity of control. And I feel like that's a lot of what this series is about who has control and what are they willing to do with it. And with that control, what do? They basically just abuse their power. I mean, it happened just inside the walls themselves with the Reese family and everything, you know, controlling the people, manipulating the history books, wiping their memories, you know, any form of established dominance or control leads to harming those that are under you. It's a class system, and it's something that always exists within humanity no matter where you go. So how is Aaron and the others going to respond to this? Because now this means that they could have a new enemy they will have a target of the other group. And also, how are they going to feel about the descendants of Ymir, who, though they may be descendants of somebody that subjugated humanity, at the current moment, they're the victims because the power has shifters. Haha. So what does that mean? So who are they going to view as their enemies, if they have any? Or is there a way that we can work together? But again, you know, the Beast Titan, the Armor Titan, and all those, they have, I mean, been extremely destructive. They basically are treating this island as a place to enact war. So it's not like you can just say, oh, hey, it's okay, we're all going to work together now. Because that's the establishment that you would need to bring down. So the Titans are still enemies, but the original just regular Titans are just people, man. All right, so anyways, let's get it right into this. So I've enough ranting. That was my mini review of volume 21. Let's get into volume 22 and see what it's all about. So let's go. It was too late by the time it was realized. You understand, Zeke, you were born to become the king who will lead all of us Eldians. Everything those Marley people are saying is wrong, but you need to follow all of their teachings better than anyone else. You're going to get them back for the way that they disgraced us. All of the people that should have known just how sinful it is for parents to indoctrinate their children. Yeah, it's scary, man. Freaking kids can be so easily influenced, and it's scary to see, you know, how, you know, kids will believe anything their parents tell them, because to a kid, a parent is the ultimate authority, you know. So, you know, if you say that, you know, horrible things exist and monsters and stuff, kids will believe you. Or if you say that, like, we are good, they are bad, you know, kids will believe you. You create enemies, and that's how you perpetuate the cycle of people hating each other, you know. Think about racism and stuff. How does that still exist? Well, you indoctrinate kids when they're young. Kids believe their parents, and then you go from there. I was doing that to him, what had been done to me. Why couldn't I see that? I dare say I never once treated Zeke as Zeke, only as a child with the royal blood and hope of Eldia restorations. In any case, Zeke abandoned his parents, who willingly exposed their own child to danger. He chose the safety of his grandparents offered, in exchange for handing over his foolish parents to Marley. Oh, Jesus. So he's getting tortured. Oh my god. You have to stop. I already told you everything I know. Oh shit. Fuck. Chopping off his fingers. Get anything? Still don't know the owl's identity. The owl, what a terrifying state of affairs. To think there was somebody organizing the Eldia restorations from inside our own government. Not only that, he was sending little kids to act as spies as they became Marley warriors. He even had a plan to steal the founding Titan from the island of Paradis and undermine Marley's Titan forces. While that was going on, they even managed to bring up the founding Titan as a way to call for support and defection from Marley's enemy nation to the east. We would have been in danger if his kid didn't inform on them. Damn. Time for a boat ride. Yeah, turning him into a Titan. I had seen the face before. I desperately searched through my memories while on the steamboat, as if to distract myself from the cruel fate that awaited me. Or are they just sending him out? This is, yep. That's right, Paradis. The Pinot colony for Eldian traders. You people have... So, yeah, basically, the whole island that our story has taken place in is basically a prison. You're going to be serving a life sentence here for the crime of treason, and you'll be serving as a mindless Titan. You'll sense humans, chase humans, eat humans, and that's all you'll be doing to the day you die. Of course, there's almost no way to die here. I've met you before, when I was a child, so you do remember. How could I forget that day? Day his sister died, man. I beg you, kill me. Is that you, Grisha? What's going on? Why would Zeke inform on us? Come on, say something. He's your son, isn't he? How the hell do you raise a kid who'd sell out his own parents? Maybe you're the one that we should be blaming here. You were all talk. You never did a thing for us. It was a mistake to entrust you with everything. The restorations. Dina, too. Damn. So he feels like he failed. Jesus. Run straight north. You'll make it to the wall if you're lucky. Oh, so, okay. So they're not turning them into Titans. They're just throwing them into the land. Pure Titans usually don't get near the ocean, but putting him down there draws the new Titans away from us and makes our job easier. He'll be eaten in no time anyway. He's the man for the authorities that killed my sister. Got a bunch of them today. Let's get this going. Oh, okay. Okay, they are turning them. Damn. It's basically just like, here, just go be a mindless friggin' Titan. Shit. He has to sit here and watch this happen. I still want to interrogate him. Go ahead. Don't work yourself. Oh, okay. He might be... This guard might be letting him live. Dina. Told you about her. She ought to be valuable to the Marlians. He's trying to save his wife, man. What's the matter? I couldn't stand hearing this nonsense. Continue your work. Honestly, just turn him into a Titan and shut him up already. No matter what I become, I'll find you. Oh, shit. Yeah, I already know. Yep. Shit, man. She's this Titan. No matter what happens, I'll find you. Yeah, because she's the one that arrived there on that day and fucking killed Aaron's mom. Yeah, she found him, alright. Well, she found him. Okay, shit, we're cutting back here. Okay. Where have I been put? Calm down, Aaron. This is a disciplinary unit. You're serving your time for violating military law. Oh, for when he defied Levi. Are you crying, Aaron? I just feel like I woke up from the longest dream. It's not a dream, a memory. So everything in that book was true after all. It was just connected to my old man's memories. The Titan, so it was you. Dina. Shit. She won't even look at you. She's going right after little Gris. Guess she had a thing for him after all. Oh, yeah, fuck off. Did you just say something? It was you 15 years ago. You fed my sister to the dogs. You fed my 8-year-old sister to the dogs. It was you. Shit. Let me handle. Back to the ship, all of you. You got it, sir. What's going on? Come on, newbie. The sergeant major wants some time to himself. Everyone needs a hobby. Eldian or not, though, I think he's going to be putting his hands on 8-year... to think he's been putting his hands on 8-year-old girls. That's disgusting. You're done with your interrogation, aren't you, Kruger? We'll make him dance today. I remember you now. I'm not going to make you a Titan. I decided he is going to be eating you. I'll make sure to make him a 3 or 4 meter Titan so you fight him, and I appreciate if you could hold out for as long as you can. Jesus. Because it's fun, why else? Fuck, dude. So, this Marley government or whatever that actually rules the world is just fucking sadistic, dude. Most people like watching brutality. Think about it. We've been at peace since we were freed from the Eldian rule. Decades of peace are great, but something's missing. These days, you hardly ever get to feel alive. Do you wake up feeling that you might die one day? I don't know how many people do, but the fact is that feeling is the natural state for living things. But in society that takes peace for granted, the people who think about that are abnormal. Well, I'm different. We're all going to die, but me, I'm ready to accept it when my day comes. And that's because I face the truth of this cruel world and try to understand it. Learning should be fun. And my sons learned something watching their dogs tear apart your sister. It built character. Oh my god, dude, fuck this guy. How do you live with yourself? I see what you're saying, and sure, I tense up when I think about the same thing happening to my sons. Your sister didn't do anything wrong, after all. She dreamed of riding the blimp. Poor thing. If only she wasn't an Eldian. Get a look at that. That's who you people really are. Get a little Titan spinal fluid in your blood and you become giant monsters, and you think you're just as human as us. There's no living thing in the world like you Eldians, you subjects of Ymir. You're monsters in human skin, and it's a terrifying nightmare that anyone ever let you reproduce. Sure, it's a peaceful place now, but every time we think we're free of you rats, one of you gets uppity again, get it? All of humanity wishes for the same thing, to wipe out every last Eldian. A few little rats in your home, and eventually they take over. The only answer is to exterminate them all. So you want to know how I live with myself? It's easy. I'm not killing human beings. You're the killers here. What were your restorationists trying to do to Marley? You were following the same path as the old Eldian Empire. How do you live with yourself? Your history is all a lie. I know the truth. Our ancestors for Ymir used the power of the Titans to cultivate the wastelands, build roads, and construct bridges between mountains. She brought wealth to the people of the continent. Marley, well, she did make a deal with the devil, if it's the devil. Marley is distorting history. Yeah, I get it. You have a grand history, right? You don't talk to your friend down there about it. Don't be ridiculous. I want to see you get eaten by a Titan. Just promise me you'll make your death interesting, huh? Show me some new way I've never seen before. Oh my god, this guy's fucked up. Now don't get upset. I already told you it's important to have fun. Be more positive about it. Oh, yeah. Fuck that dude. Although I did want to see Aaron's dad kill him, but there you go. Well, you talked about fighting for your life, so oh yeah, eat that fucker. That's good. Oh man, as much fun as he made it out to be. Oh my god, I'm the owl. Ah, there you go. Okay, that makes sense. Watch and learn, Grisha. This is how you use the power of the Titans. Oh, he was the oh shit, before Aaron, right? They look the same. Destroying the boat. Jesus, that's a good image. You know, as we start this next chapter, I just want to say that that's kind of it reminds me of you know, with the internment camps and everything like that, and just the way that character was dressed and acting. You know, it definitely has that kind of like 1940s World War II Nazi vibe to it. And it also shows that, you know, people will always believe that whatever group that they are in is the superior one, and then everybody else is the enemy. People make enemies out of for just existing. It makes us feel better about ourselves if somebody else is the bad guy. So you know, it's just the same with it's like racism, and it's like you know, political factions and things like that. It's like whatever group that you associate yourself with, if everyone else is the enemy, that shows that you're right. Everyone else is a barbarian, everyone else is evil, everyone else is ignorant, everyone else doesn't understand. My group understands. I am the right one. What I believe is right, you know. And that's how we get into these fields of hatred, and you know, we're willing to dehumanize somebody else so that it's easier to kill them. Around the time the soldiers ran out of ammunition, the Owl, now a Titan, crushed their steamships into dust, which he spread across the ocean. Soon he squeezed the soldiers themselves dry and threw them into the ocean too. Fuck that dude. Like discarded pieces of fruit. To explain to you what the ocean is. Oh yeah, they don't know. It's a large body of salt water that covers 7/10 of this world's surface. So the steamships the Marley Public Security Authorities used to take us here, and everything those soldiers carried, every trace that they ever existed here on this island, has vanished, engulfed in the ocean. Yeah, so he couldn't get back. He was trapped. I don't have that kind of time. Who are you? My name is Kruger. As I just showed you, I hold the power of one of the 9 Titans within me. In other words, I am one of the subjects of Ymir, just like you. So you pretended to be a Marleyan to infiltrate the government. But what about the blood tests? I just found a cooperative doctor. He too was subject of Ymir. He had falsified his own medical records to pose as a Marleyan. Doctors make good spies. They have education and position, and they know how to study Titan biology. I have to say, you did a good job. You led to the restorationists at a young age, and even produced an heir with Dina and Fritz. Even your plot to make Zeke into a Marley soldier, it was realistic, considering the support that you would have had from me. But in the end, the results were just as Grisha lamented, weren't they? I was a bad father, a bad husband, and a bad man. So why am I the only one left standing here as a human? Dina, she was the subject of Ymir with royal blood. She could make full use of the power of the Titans. Wasn't it obvious? Even the Eldian children know that from their Marley history textbooks. If you hadn't suppressed that fact, at the very least, Dina would have come here to be turned into a mindless monster. Answer me, Owl. Why am I the only one kept alive? Oh, yeah, he doesn't have fingers. Jesus Christ. Though you didn't seem to be quite as concerned about my fingers when they were being cut off, couldn't you have kept everyone from becoming Titans if you'd gone on your little rampage earlier? Why didn't you do anything? What purpose did it serve turning the Eldia Restorationists into Titans? You've been looking for a pail for a bit now. Not just our compatriots. I cut off the fingers of thousands of subjects of Ymir, thousands of them, and turned them into Titans, women and children too. I believe I did all of it to serve Eldia. Then show me how. I will. I'm short on time. Grisha, I'm entrusting you with my final mission, and you're not anyone else. That day when we first met, I hadn't called out to you and stopped you. You may have been able to save your sister. I think it's more likely that I would have been killed alongside her. It puts me at ease to know you think that, but in any case, if that had never happened, you probably wouldn't have hated Marley as much as you do now. Oh shit. That's why you picked me? It's part of it. Your hate for the state, for your father. So he was there that day, he saw. And for yourself. I hate that I saw in your eyes. Could have burned the world into ashes. I was once that way too. The members of the royal family who stayed on the continent formed an insurgent force, and my father joined, but they weren't able to do a thing, and in the end they were all burned alive with their families. I was just a child. All I could do was watch through the cracks in the closet door. I was too scared to do anything else. My father's friend saved me just before my home burned down. After that, I swore revenge on Marley to restore Eldia. But to do that, I had to take the fingers off the people I wanted to protect, to skin them alive, to kick them down from here and turn them into Titans. My full devotion to that is what kept my identity from being revealed until this day. Maybe I'm still the same then. I'm just looking out into the world from a crack in the closet door. Damn. He did, you know, it's the art of war, man. Lao Tzu, like, keep your friends close, your enemies closer, like the infiltration, the amount of dedication that you would need to keep yourself hidden for that long. You know, you wind up doing just as many, if not more, horrible things that you're trying to prevent in order to get far enough to do something useful. It's that is quite the heavy burden to bear. You go inside the walls and take back the founding Titan. You'll use the power of the Titan you will inherit from me. That means that you'll become a Titan. You will eat me. It's impossible to reach the walls without the power of the Titans. There you'll use your power to take the power of the founding Titan from its owner, which is why he killed the whole Reese family and everything. I haven't told you everything I know, because my goal was to raise the morale of the Restorationists. Anyone who inherits the power of one of the Titans will die in 13 years. Oh, okay. And I inherited it 13 years ago. If you had known that, you wouldn't have been so eager to have Zeke and Dina take on the founding Titan's power. So that means Eren, 13 years. Shit, Eren's only like what? How old is Eren? Not old. The owl called it the curse of Ymir. It's because they say Ymir, the founding Titan, died 13 years after first awakening to her powers, and no one's power can exceed hers. So when that time closes in, your body weakens as the vessel finishes serving its purpose. So that's why the Reese family would have so many children and keep it cycling through, because they only had 13 years to deal with it. Okay, that makes sense. And this was another memory that matched up with your dad's note, right? When you consider that the Reese family passed the crown every... Oh, so Armin's just going to say it, yeah. I have 8 years left, or even less. Damn. Has to be wrong. It's wrong. Oh, Mikasa. If someone who holds the power of one of the 9 Titans dies without anyone inheriting that power, then the power of that Titan is suddenly inherited by a baby belonging to the subject of Ymir. Distance plays no factor, and neither do blood relations, so it's like impossible to stop. So you can't help but think that maybe the subjects of Ymir are all connected by something invisible. One successor said that they saw paths invisible to the eyes. The blood and bones that formed in the Titan were sent through those paths. At times, those paths even carried memories or the will to act. And all those paths cross at a single coordinate. In other words, that is the founding Titan. All Titan subjects of Ymir are connected to that coordinate through paths that transcend physical space. That is the most recent theory poised by the Marley's Government Titan Biology Research Society. So you're saying that magic exists, and that our ancestor Ymir was a witch all along. Well, he made a deal with the devil. Calls her a pawn of the devil. To the Eldian Empire, she was a god-given miracle. That's the thing, man. That's, you know, fuck. It was a quote from Hellraiser where he's just like, angels to some, demons to others. You know, what is really the difference between an angel and a demon? It just depends on what side of it you're on, right? Shit, you could even say the same as in Berserk, you know? What's the difference between a devil and a god, you know? Maybe they're one and the same. All the historical documents they sent us, nothing more than fuel for our morale too. So then what is the truth? What is our real history? When she was a girl, our ancestor Ymir touched the source of all living matter. There are some who say that too. There is no such thing as the truth of this world. That is our reality. Anyone can become a god or devil. All it takes is for someone to claim it, for it to be true. 17 centuries of ethnic cleansing. If that were true, there wouldn't be a strand of Marleyan hair left on this planet. Our ancestors Ymir brought us nothing but wealth with the power of the Titans. That doesn't sound like any human I've ever heard of. Yeah. I heard that Dina was part of the royal bloodline from you too. Was that another one of your truths? So that's why you abandoned her, unfortunately. It is true that Dina was of royal blood. She was probably the one thing that was taken away from the insurgents. So then why? Because she was of royal blood. There was no way I could let her fall into the enemy's hands. Zeke would surely tell Marley everything. It was a matter of time before they saw his words were more than a child's babble. Even so, would you prefer she spent the rest of her life forced to bear children from her enemy? Honestly, being turned into a man-eating monster might be preferable to that. Not that I asked her, of course. But seeing her in those last moments, I think I made the right choice. Jesus. Still, it was entirely because I wasn't strong enough, that I wasn't able to save our brothers and sisters. Only one person can reach the wall from here. That one person with the power of the Titans. Yeah. Only one person would be able to make it there anyway, so I did my job, now do yours. To be honest, I don't think I'm fit for the job. Didn't I just destroy the Eldian Restorations, an organization you created? You're going to do it. Look at that. The man who was delighted in feeding my sister to dogs was just eaten alive by a Titan. There's no better revenge that I could have gotten for this. If you asked me, I enjoyed watching him die. If you asked me if I enjoyed watching him die, I didn't. Okay. I couldn't bear to hear the repulsive screams he made as he died an agonizing death. I felt the same way when you were crushing your men at your own hands. It was just frightened. I haven't changed at all. Losing my brothers and sisters, losing my wife and son, the pain of having my fingers cut off. If I'd known this was the price of freedom. You've made a terrible miscalculation. I'm sorry. I can't hate anything anymore. Damn. He's just depressed, man. He went through so much shit, and it shows. I mean, fuck that guy that died, but like, of course, like, him dying isn't gonna bring back his wife. It isn't gonna bring back his. It isn't gonna change Zeke from having betrayed him. You know, it isn't gonna change anything. He's just sitting here watching people die over and over. You're the father, the man who smiled and nodded at the authorities, even though they barely lifted a finger after his own daughter was killed. He was trying not to lose any more of his family. He was desperate to make sure you stayed off the wrong path. But his son learned nothing from him. Worse, he shipped his own wife and son straight to hell. So what are you trying to say? Stand and fight. Didn't I tell you, Grisha Yeager? I'm short on time. There's still information I haven't told you yet. I need to make a vow to me first that you will fight again to restore Eldia's freedom and dignity with your own life on the line. If you'll fight, then stand. Shit. I brought this from your home. It's the photograph. You've got no balls. You've been castrated by Marley. It's pointless to try to make me recall my hatred. All I have left are my sins. Fuck, dude. So you're really saying that Aaron's dad was, you're basically, again, this isn't black and white. There's no real heroes or enemies. But from where Aaron's dad stands, there's nothing but pain. You know, he's done everything he could for what he believes is right. And it costs so much, and he just doesn't want to take on this responsibility. He feels like he's gone as far as he could. If you had never gone outside with your sister, you would have never inherited your father's clinic. You would never have met Dina, and Zeke would never have been born. Your little sister would be an adult by now, probably married. Perhaps she would be a mother. But you went past the wall. It's the realization he made his choice. We sought freedom, and the brothers and sisters paid the price for it. There's only one way to pay them back. From the first day I came to kick my compatriots to their deaths, from the day you brought your sister outside the wall, those actions will follow us until they're repaid, even if we die, even after we die. Yeah. And like, you've come this far, so like, this is his choice. Like, he can just die here, he can feel like he's gone as far as he possibly can go, or he can go further. You started this story, didn't you? So finish it. I get it. The only thing is, like, what is this gonna mean for our characters? Have to pick a side, man. They have to decide if they want it, because the rest of the world's gonna come here whether they like it or not. Each of the 9 Titans had a name. That includes the one you're about to inherit from me. In every era, this Titan has always moved ahead, seeking freedom. It has fought on for freedom. That's when he met. Its name is the Attack Titan. And that's what Aaron is. It's the name of the Titan that you inherited from your father. Why are you talking to yourself even though no one else was around? Lay off. He's 15. Everyone has a phase like this. So 15. So, wait, how long? When did he become a Titan? It was 10 years ago? No, 8 years ago. 13, 4. I don't know. So he'll just be like barely over 20 by the time he dies. God, that's fucked up. What do you mean by that? I never had a phase where I muttered to myself at all, alone while glaring at the sky. Please explain later so I could stop talking about this in front of him. Though I'm not sure we'll be able to explain. What does that mean? What are you here for? But I still have about 10 days left for my punishment. Levi, you're done. You just got all 10 days worth from Hange. Yeah, you know, especially if he's only going to live a couple of years. I mean, shit. Just shorten it, man. Making an example of people through discipline, even if it's for show, is important for any organization. Even a 9-person organization. Still, that doesn't mean we can ignore what's going on around us. Don't worry, we've talked to General Zackley. Yeah, that guy's fucked up. He's the dude that was like human centipeding people upside down or whatever, making them eat their own shit. We asked what message we were sending by putting the hero who took down the Armored and Colossus Titans in jail. Plus, the officers you disobeyed were the idiots who let the Armored and Beast Titans get away, meaning that the corpse can't afford to punish you two right now. Yeah. If I ever found myself at a loss, now would be that time. Have you lost weight? Have you had plenty to eat? Oh, Mikasa. Oh, man. She's just, like, torn up because she knows Aaron is on a ticking clock now, man. I love Mikasa. Her Majesty the Queen has come to the Trost District. Oh, Historia. Now we gotta talk about this Historia. Reiner is standing at my... So, wait. So, if the power Historia was supposed to have... Oh wait, no, it's in Aaron. Okay, that's right. Sorry, I forgot for a second. He's catching glimpses as I write this love letter to you. What a creep. He's never getting a girlfriend. But he did promise me that he would deliver this letter to you. He says he wants to repay me for saving them that day. I'm sorry for what happened to them. I never imagined I would ever choose them over you. I'll be dead not long after I write these words, but I don't regret anything. I had no name. I don't know who my parents were or where they were from. The first thing I remember is being one beggar among many. But that one day a man showed up and gave me a name. Ever since then, people have called me Ymir. You may not think it's such an unusual name, but all I had to do was take it and then be given a fine bed and free meals. That wasn't all. Those adults who had always acted like I was invisible all got on their knees and revered me. As for the man who named me, he began to dress more and more extravagantly, and as he did, he grew happier. It felt good too. Yeah. All I had to do to make everyone delighted and happy was to play the role that I had been given, and that's what I believed, and that's why I kept playing the part of Ymir. Soon people started calling me the devil instead, but I still kept playing the part of Ymir. The man who had given me a name claimed that I had tricked him. Did they not know what Ymir was? Still, I kept playing the part of Ymir. I thought if that's what would save them, it would be fine, but there are some people in this world who have rocks thrown at them for merely nothing more than existing. As their symbol, I was stoned from head to toe. Ah, shit. That's how she got brought here. It seems that in this world, it doesn't mean anything in particular, that a simple chunk of flesh can scream and flail. Oh, man. No, it does not mean a thing. Damn. But that's why I think the world is so incredible. I opened my eyes again, and spread out before me was freedom. From there I began to walk, and I lived the way that I wanted. I had no regrets. Shit, so she found freedom in on this island, basically. Or so I'd like to say. But to be honest, I do have one. And you and I still aren't married. Ymir. She's saying that, like, separately they should be married or together. I'm sure she wasn't able to write down any information that could be useful to us, but there was a message that only you might understand, a code or something. I don't know, but I don't think she'd do something like that. What an idiot. Ymir, you really were an idiot. Laughing it off when you so much as blush. I'll never get you. Here's the crew, man. Your Majesty. Yeah. Levi doesn't bow. I like that. There's Sasha resting up. Thank God she's okay. I've always liked Sasha. The individuals in this room are currently the only ones who know about the existence of these 3 books: the early life of Grisha Yeager, the extent of the knowledge of Titans and their history, and the information about the world beyond the walls. We owe their retrieval to the 9 soldiers who are here today and the 199 who are not. Jesus, that's so many. Their heroics deserve to be praised for a millennia to come. A place to do that, as well as to bury a fallen, will be set aside for a later date. But today I would like to share information here in the presence of the Queen and develop a joint strategy for the future. Survey Corps Commander Hunch Zoe, what do you make of the situation? In exchange for the loss of many heroes, including Erwin Smith, we, the Survey Corps, were able to successfully retake Wall Maria, defeat the Colossus Titan, and take its power. However, yeah, Armin's got his power, man. That's pretty dope. We humans living inside the walls continue to be an extremely dangerous situation. We would count ourselves lucky if the Titans were our only enemies. Sadly, the true enemy we have been fighting all along is another piece of humanity, civilization. If we had to say it, it'd be the world. According to these notes, we are the subjects of Ymir, a special race from a nation known as Eldia, who are capable of becoming Titans. These subjects of Ymir once ruled the world and could possibly rule it again. That is why the world attempts to eradicate us, the subjects of Ymir. If the founding Titan falls into Marley's hands, they will no longer have any use for the Eldians in the internment zone, spelling the end for all Eldians, whether on this island or on the continent. What Gross said was a fact. From long ago, Eldia had used pure Titans as cheap weapons of destruction. So long as the founding Titan does not control them, they cannot follow any complex orders. However, once they are set loose, they become fearless and automatic tools of mass slaughter. They are now being used to cage in the Eldians on this island, preventing them from freely venturing past the walls. Right. But now it's too much fun for even them. Even the Marleyans have to avoid the island. The only reason they've kept so many Eldians alive inside this internment area is because each living Eldian is more pure Titan that they can add to their military forces. But of course, Marley isn't a monolith. Most people think it'd be better to slaughter us all than turn us into such unreliable weapons. Marley has set that destruction aside for now, but I know that one day they will return for the island's resources, and to develop it, they'll need to eliminate the pure Titans. If they acquire the founding Titan held by the King of the Walls, they will again begin to question whether the Eldians should continue to exist, and they will use this as a weapon to eradicate us. One or the other, but the King of the Walls would never allow that. The King of the Walls won't fight. If Eldia decides to raise the world once more, we will perish as we were meant to. It is pointless to try to take the founding Titan from me. I have made a vow with the founding Titan, renouncing all war. That is what King Fritz had said to the royal family on the continent before closing the gates of the walls. But I thought he said that the Titans inside the walls would flatten the earth. He used that threat to achieve a temporary peace, but the king actually agrees with Marley that Eldia should be destroyed. He's taking his people down with him. The king had stolen the people's memories, and he has made them think that humanity outside the walls has perished. He's surrounded by fools of his own making, and tells them this is paradise. I don't understand his vow renouncing war, but a king who can't even protect his own people is no king. Though I doubt he uses the name Fritz, we must find him, and take the founding titan from his frightened king. That is our mission. Right, and he did that. He succeeded so far. And Aaron's the key right now. Mr. Yeager then completed his mission. He took the founding titan from the King of the Walls and entrusted it into his son Aaron. While Mr. Kruger didn't know that he would what the vow renouncement war meant, we now know what it is. The true power of the founding titan can be used if it resides inside someone from the royal bloodline. However, if the founding titan does reside inside anyone of the royal blood, they will be consumed by the will of the 145th king, leaving them with no choice but to take their own life. I dare say that this is what the vow renouncing war does. I would say that the only possible way to resist such a powerful enemy would be to use the true power of the founding titan to activate the wall titans. But you're saying that would be impossible so long as we have this vow renouncing war. In the past, Aaron has controlled pure titans in order to escape perilous situations, but we still don't know why he was able to use that power. But there is a possibility that even Aaron, who is not from the royal bloodline, is able to use the founding titan. That's right. For just one moment that day, it felt like everything was connected. Right. But only then. Why? Why was it only for a moment? He was able to control them. My name is Dina Fritz. I am a descendant of the royal family. Could it be? What? Dina Fritz. Continue. Our Titan. Okay, this is one of those moments where I go back through while I'm editing the video and I notice that, like, I don't understand why I didn't realize something really simple to understand. The first time through, I was very confused about this segment, so I'm just going to throw this in here where, okay, I get that Fritz was part of the royal blood, that Titan, the same Titan from the very first volume that ate Aaron's mother and everything, and Aaron was able to use that ability, the coordinate ability, when he made contact with her, like physical contact. So now I'm thinking this scene means more as if he makes physical contact with that creature again, or finds that creature and is able to devour her in some way. I don't know how they would make that happen. That if he's able to do that, he would be able to access that ability. All right, so I just want to throw that in there that I think I do understand this, but I was very confused at the time of reading it. I have Dina, and all my memories from before I became a Titan will disappear anyway, won't they? Not necessarily. Someone may see them later. Your wife, your child, even someone on the street, it does not matter. Love someone inside the walls. Shit. If you can't, we're doomed to repeat it again. You have the same history, the same mistakes. If you want to save them all, Mikasa, Armin, and the others, carry out your mission to the end. Mikasa, Armin, who are they? Who knows? Whose memories could these be? What? So are you saying, like, the connectedness is, like, so deeply wound that, like, time doesn't even matter? Like, you could understand that there's people named Armin and Mikasa and stuff, like, even beyond that. So, like, like, fuck. So, like, how deep of a connection is this? I mean, we are talking about, like, not really I don't really view it as magic. I kind of view it more as like a spiritual thing, like how we are all one. We're all one thing. All is one. One is all, connected with the universe. So time isn't even a factor, apparently. Shit. The walls will fall into chaos if we were to make this public. That's right. Even we aren't able to fully access the scale of what's going on here. So we should deceive the people again? You're suggesting that we keep people ignorant and domesticated just as King Reese did? If that's the case, what cause were we fighting for when we snatched the crown? Yeah. But, like, oh my god, can you imagine? Like, the people just found out, like, their government was shit and lying to them. So now if they find out that, like, the whole world is, like, basically a lie, that there's an entire world out there and they're just on a tiny island. Oh man. We're all people of the walls. We all share the fate. We must now unite as one and work together. So they're letting them know. Wow. Okay. Those Mannian Titans that menace humanity so, are in fact humans. They are subjects of Ymir, a race with whom we share a common ancestry. Our king built these walls 100 years ago and used the power of the Titans to alter people's memories, making them believe humanity had disappeared beyond the walls. But humanity had not disappeared. They'd called us the subject of Ymirs, a race of devils. Our enemies will begin an invasion of the land in the near future under the pretext of acquiring its resources. And the attacks that began 5 years ago, spearheaded by the Colossus Titan, were a part of that. The article is already out and circulating, but would you vouch for that story's authenticity? It matches up with the questions and doubts that we've had all this time. I don't want to believe it, of course I don't. So, what's with the town's reaction? Hard to say. Some are simply accepting it, some let out a laugh, some who still object to military rule are coming up with conspiracies to spread. The people in the state of confusion, just as you had feared, but it was unavoidable. Our job is to survey and report and let the taxpayers decide what to do with that information. In that, at least things are better now. Man, yeah, that's crazy. Can you imagine if that like came out in like the United States, like where I live and whatnot? People would flip shit. There would be riots. I mean, there's already riots, right? Like, especially with everything that's happening right now, like it would be utter insanity. There would be no hope. I think these people are taking it rather well. Very proud of you all, as someone who lives inside the same walls and as a fellow working man. Next time, maybe you can put the Survey Corps in a better light. What is going to happen to us next? We've looked at the Titans with fear and hate, wishing our hearts that they would vanish from the world, but now we find that the people out in the world have seen us not as humans, but as harmful monstrosities, and that means we have to experience that hell again. It will not end until we're annihilated. Yeah, but, okay, so if you can somehow fix this coordinate ability, though, and gain control of these Titans, then, I mean, you could turn the Titans away from being your enemy and into theirs, you know? Hitch. I'm here to see all of you get your medals. I did play a role in the revolution, you know. Marlowe, he was brave until the end. Oh, man, yeah, he thought about her right before he died. Marlowe is a fresh emergency recruit, just like me, but regardless, he did a good job of uniting us all. It seemed hopeless out there. The Survey Corps was on the verge of being wiped out. Even when we were all terrified to the point of being useless, he was the one guy who never stopped encouraging the rest. He was an amazing guy. That's why he never listened to a word I said. But at the very end, he must have regretted going out there. Yeah, she can't. Yeah, I'll be the one. Actually, maybe Hitch is... like I said, we still have, what, 3 Titans we need to figure out who they are, so... I don't know. Someone has to tell the truth, right? I know that you desperately wanted to revive Commander Irwin. I thought Commander was the right choice. But I wasn't the only one. That's what everyone thought reading the report. They wondered why it wasn't Irwin. So yeah, so now Armin's going to have this guilt that he was chosen. But it wasn't, I mean, he didn't choose it, you know what I mean? Like, he was willing to die just the same as Irwin were. They were both willing to die, so, you know. I do know why Armin was picked, because you two and Captain Levi allowed your personal feelings to get the better of you, took the injection for yourselves. In other words, you couldn't throw away what's important to you. You made an irrational decision. I think it's time for you to shut your mouth. Aaron, I bet deep down inside you must always think you're in the right. That's why you never gave up, like the little kid who wouldn't listen to reason. That's fine, Aaron, let it go. At least you acted more like an adult there, Mikasa. You gave up in the end. You understand we're about to hold a memorial for our fallen comrades. Why are you dredging up something that's already in the past? And you guys, you didn't defy your superiors. You didn't try to stop Aaron and Mikasa either. You just stood by. Medals for what? A memorial for who? You'd better tell the truth to the Survey Corps recruits coming to fill in the ranks. Otherwise, you're going to have cowards like me joining you by accident. What were you planning on doing now without Commander Irwin? I might be nothing more than fodder, but I'm sure my only purpose is to be expendable. But even a piece of fodder should at least have the right to call it like he sees it. Shit. I mean, yeah, he's right. Commander Irwin should have survived. And there's anyone who can get us out of this situation, it's not me. What makes you sure of that? I don't know what the right choice is. How can anyone know the future? And anyway, have you seen it? What's beyond the walls? What's past the walls? The ocean. It is there. Yeah. Confirmed. Have you seen it? Still don't know a thing. Flaming water, frozen plains, snow fields on sand. There are endless number of possibilities. I think on the other side of the walls, there's freedom. Wow. Jesus, cutting to that image. Oh, man, it's time. Historia! Look at her, being all queenie. So what was it that we found in the basement? Was it hope? Despair? Our enemy was more powerful than we could imagine. Our calamity is going to repeat itself. Nothing changes. I'd be happy to give up my life if I knew doing so could change something, but I'm not prepared to sacrifice Historia's life. What should I do? I can't tell anyone about this. I, like you, am a subject of Ymir. I am an Eldian, and have come from beyond the walls. Yeah? King of the walls, please, you must kill the Titans attacking the walls at once, before my wife and my children, before the people of the walls are eaten. He's having memories. Aaron. For the first time in 6 years, the day had come for the Survey Corps to embark on an expedition beyond Wall Maria. Just like you predicted, Hange, the Titans inside the Wall Maria were just about all of them. Looks like we've culled most of them in only a year. I expected as much. Yeah, well, I mean, that machine works well, and then, you know, you just do what you can. Kill them one by one. It can't move. We found a Titan. Slowly crawling. It must have taken so long. That's one of our compatriots, someone who'd been sent to heaven. Yeah, I'm sure of it. This is where the Eldians were turned into Titans. And just past there, the ocean. They finally found it. Shit, Armin, bro. This is what he wanted his whole fucking life, dude. Oh my god. But now that he's here, it's like, instead of it being like a gorgeous, endless ocean, you know, on the other side of the ocean is more people that hate you, more enemies. And he's the only one and he's dealing with friggin' the regret that he was chosen and not Erwin, so he can't even enjoy it. I told you, Aaron, it's so big a merchant could spend his whole life collecting salt and still not get it all. That's what I said. I was right. Come on, just embrace it. Have your moment, man. Have your moment, Armin. Enjoy it. And on the other side of the ocean is freedom. That's what I always believed, but it's not. Yeah. It's the enemies that are on the other side of the ocean. Hey, get out of here. This is all exactly as I saw in my old man's memories. Right? Those enemies on the other side. If we kill them all, does that mean that we'll be free? Does it, man? Or will something else take over again? It's just nonstop. Again and again. Something's going to be in control and something's going to be hurting. It's just the fucking cycle of life, man. Everything eats each other. And I believe that's the end of volume 22. Yeah, up to volume 23. Who are these characters? I guess I'll find out. Yeah, so, okay, so that's volume 22. Yeah, so this was such an information-heavy volume. I think for the most part, it's still, I'm still on board with what's going on, and with what's happening here, now that they're at the beach, it's such a regrettable experience because it should be a place that they're happy to finally reach. But unfortunately, it is a place of foreboding anxiety, with knowing that there is another group of humanity on the other side of the ocean that is going to come for them at some point or another, whether they like it or not. So they're going to have to figure out what to do with that, to decide if they want to fight more. And then, geez, I mean, are they even going to have enough people? I mean, hundreds of them got killed by the Beast Titan, who is still out there somewhere, assumingly. And whether it returned to Marley or not, I'm not sure. Also, the idea that Aaron's father, you know, was trying to, at the expense of perhaps the people around him, he was trying to save his people, and the people that are here, Aaron and everybody else, they are his people technically. So he was trying to do the right thing, and bring the power back to them, and to bring, you know, peace, prosperity, and everything to them after everything that had happened. So he was attempting to do this, even though it seemed abrasive and painful and confusing to Eren. And maybe things would have been better if he explained this to Eren from a young age. But he, again, he indoctrinated Zeke, his first child, at such a young age to do these things, to to say that this is your mission and we have to overthrow this government and everything. And so, like, maybe he didn't want to do that to Eren the second time. For his second child, he learned the mistakes of the first one, and he learned that if he tries to indoctrinate him at a young age, maybe he'll betray him. So instead, he kind of forced it upon Eren, instead of not forced it, but like sprung it on him instead of indoctrinating him at a young age. And I see that Armin is having more development, with regretting that he was the one that's chosen. But it's not his fault. I mean, if anybody, it's Eren and Levi. It's Levi, actually, because it was his choice. At the end of the day, Levi was in charge of who got to have it, and that's what he chose. And whatever Levi's reasons for that, they were his in the moment, and that's final. So yeah, the torturous, disgusting ways that humanity has treated each other, has treated people that were different, that were considered the children of the devil and everything. But if you made a deal with the devil, but that's the thing, like, it was considered the devil, it was written as the devil in their history books and whatnot. But again, what is really the difference between a devil and an angel? It really depends on, are you on the same side as this thing? Is this thing helping you prosper, or is this thing bringing you down? Some sort of like deity, like being, some ultimate powerful being. Really, the only difference between being good and evil is whether or not it's helping you. Do you view it as good or evil? Do you view it as an enemy, or do you view it as a savior? So very cool ideas, very cool concepts. So now I've kind of hit the point that people were talking about, where the story has shifted, just as the shifters shift into something different. And I think that it matches up quite well, all things considered. I don't know if this was the author's intention from the very beginning. Like, if we go back to Volume 1 with the Titans and everything, I don't know how far in advance this was planned. This might have been all planned from the very beginning. But I could also see how this could have been written kind of along the way, but he did fill in all the gaps and made all the points kind of like hit each other, so it works well consistently. Now I want to get into more characterization for Eren and everybody going on, which I know is coming up in the near future, because though I'm very much enjoying this series, but it has been so exposition heavy and so action heavy that, like, I need a little bit more of the characters to expand. And I'm talking about the main characters. Obviously, we got a ton out of Grisha, Eren's father, in this volume, which was fantastic, which was great to see. I'm talking about Eren himself, Mikasa, Levi, our main crew. So Armin, with now this information that he was chosen. Also, now he has the Colossus Titan power, so there's going to be more to do with that. How is Mikasa going to deal with Eren, knowing that his lifespan is going to be up, and Armin's too, actually? So both of them are going to have a limited lifespan now because of this. And I like that idea too, because then it kind of gets rid of the ultimate power. Like, if somebody has power for way too long, it kind of this puts more stakes on it. This puts more conditions on it. So it's like, yeah, you get this ultimate power, but then it shortens your lifespan to 13 years. So it's this give and take, kind of like, do you want it? Do you not want it? Kind of thing. So we'll see how they deal with that, and moving forward. So I don't know when they'll kind of get involved with the Beast Titan and all of their abilities once more, all that crew that are obviously working for Marley, that are there for the resources and just kind of tear them down, view them as something. It's funny because, like, they have the Titan powers, so like they're part of the Ymir descendancy, but they're so indoctrinated into the government of Marley that they just don't, that's who they're working for. So it's like, you constantly have people fighting against their own side. Even everybody in the story of Attack on Titan has been inadvertently fighting against their own people, basically. But what's the difference? I mean, who cares where somebody comes from, or what your race or your lineage is? Like, all that matters is what you're doing in the moment. Are you trying to create peace, or are you trying to create chaos? And that's a lot of what this series deals with, along with like the government conspiracies, the ideas of military and war, command structure. I said conspiracies, but like how the government is not your friend most of the time, how they are controlling what you read, what you watch, what you witness, your history books and everything. So you have to be vigilant at all times, because you never know who is lying to you, who is covering up the facts, who is using the truth to turn into lies, who is using lies to manipulate the truth. I mean, there's so much to it. It's like, it just goes to show that like you have to discover things for yourself. You have to be like Aaron and the others, where they go out and they are determined to not just read about the ocean, not just hear about the ocean, not just dream about the ocean, but to find the ocean themselves. You know, it's a metaphor for figuring things out yourself. Don't take everybody's word for it. Don't just fall in line with a group or a system just because it seems convenient at the time. You have to make your own decisions, and you have to make decisions quickly sometimes. Sometimes you don't get a choice that you can sit and ponder for hours on end. Sometimes you just have to make a choice. And the important thing is to seek knowledge, to seek the truth at all times. Always keep your mind open for things. Don't keep it limited by different religions or governments or structures or things that are going to keep you into a rigid system. Keep your mind open for all possibilities, because you never know what truth lies beyond the lies. So that's what I have to say, guys. So let me know what you think about my review reaction of Volume 22 of Attack on Titan. Leave all your comments down below. Thank you for watching these live reactions. I don't know if I'll do any more, because obviously they are longer videos, and I don't know if I can gather as many intelligent thoughts as I want to, but that's kind of just the gist of it. So give this video a thumbs up. Please like it, comment down below. Definitely tell me what you thought about this volume and the big twist in Attack on Titan, everything going on with Grisha right now. And yeah, check out the links for the Patreon and Discord, social media links, all that below in the description. Thanks again for watching these videos, guys. I really do appreciate it. And I'll talk to you in the next review.